Michelle Brown.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. Can the Cabinet Secretary tell me the details of any additional educational provision that is made for the looked after children in Wales, please?
I thank Michelle for the question. I'm sure the member is aware that looked after children are subject to the Pupil Development Grant. That is additional resources that are made available to support the education of looked after children, and looked after children who wish to attend university will be entitled to the full package of student support under the Diamond proposals.
Okay, thank you, Cabinet Secretary, for that answer. The reason that I ask is that the announcement that you made back in May and what you just said, not very much in there about any details of how extra support for this group would actually manifest itself. Although you've announced positive actions in the past, have you actually considered making additional teaching hours available to looked after children, a sector that the charity Children in Wales says are still having poorer educational outcomes than their non-care counterparts? And if you have considered it, have you committed to ring-fencing funding for schools or indeed other establishments to offer looked after children some additional extra learning time, either face-to-face or in a group?
Well, Michelle, let's be absolutely clear. Children who are care experienced at present do not achieve the qualifications in the numbers that I would like them to do so. There has been significant progress in recent years with a number of looked after children leaving school with 5 good GCSEs, but we have a significant way to go to ensure that all those children reach their potential. The member asks about ring-fenced resources. The Pupil Development Grant is ring-fenced. It is a set amount of money that is passed to the regional consortia to support schools in a variety of techniques, whichever is best for those children in those particular schools. The Welsh Government is also working across departments with my colleague Hugh Aranka-Davies to fund the ACES Hub and ACES Network. We know that many looked after children, by the fact that they are in care, have suffered adverse childhood experiences which can negatively impact on their education. And the ACES Hub is there to support schools to look at a variety of interventions that can best support those children who are care experienced.
Well, the reason I'm asking about this is that children who have been put in local authority care are already disadvantaged because of all those ACEs that you spoke about. That will have had an impact on their education. And they're going into care, they've had an impact on their education. What the state can do is give them additional schooling to actually give them a leg up. A schooling that wouldn't actually be particularly expensive per child to offer. And I was just wondering whether you're prepared to look at that option of perhaps offering a summer school arrangement to looked after children whose education has been disadvantaged by the ACEs that they've suffered.
Well, the member will be aware that this summer the Welsh Government funded the SHAC programme, or the Lunch and Fun programme, predominantly aimed at disadvantaged children so that they could access educational provision and a hot meal during the school holidays. That programme has been very successful, and we hope to be able to fund even more local authorities next summer to be able to offer those opportunities. And we continue to support those families that are foster caring with additional advice on how they can make an impact. But what's really important to remember, if you listen to children who are looked after, what they tell you time and time again is they don't want to be stigmatised, and they don't want to be seen to be treated any differently from their cohorts. And that's really important to those children. And we are supporting them within a mainstream education, not singling them out, but giving those schools additional resources to help those children education. Importantly, we're seeing results, because results are improving for that group of learners.